Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jody After the Show podcast.
If you have kids, this is for you because when their birthdays roll around, it's a beautiful thing to do, a tradition that we've not always been good at, Murphy, but hit or miss. So our daughter Taylor's birthday is today. Happy birthday, baby,
yes,
if you're listening to this.
Happy birthday. I sent her a text.
I sent her stuff last night and this morning, and I'm getting my nails done with her later today.
Okay.
You ever schedule a text for right after midnight so that you're the first?
No.
Yeah, okay.
I don't schedule texts. I'm sorry. I'm not cool like you guys. But no matter what your kid's age is, and someone told me this while we were raising our girls, Murphy, and I think we've ended up doing it kind of naturally when we would hang out with them on their birthdays and take them to dinner. But something to make sure that you do every year, at least near their birthday, when you get together on their birthday, tell them the story of the day they were born. They love to hear it.
Yeah.
And I plan to do that with her today. Just talk to her about it. And honestly, it's a big birthday for her, 25. So I just feel like, it can be a different conversation than it was years ago when we just told her all the cutesy stuff. Mm-hmm. We can really talk about things I was feeling.
You told her that last year, didn't you?
I mean, yeah, every year.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's the point.
Sit around, kids. Mom's going to tell you a story.
Well, no,
Mom.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Is that you tell them the story of the day they were born, even if they've heard it, they like to hear it again.
Yeah.
And chances are, as a parent, if you're just being real in your heart, something else is going to come out of you that brings back a memory.
Has your mom ever talked about the day that you were born?
A little bit, a very little bit. They knocked her out. She has very little memory.
Yeah, they did that kind of stuff back then, didn't they?
She has very little memory.
Yeah.
Of being just knocked out, and she woke up, and there I was.
Yeah, my mom, I think same thing. The only story that she tells is, or that she used to tell when she was alive, was that there was a heating lamp that they had put to dry out everything or whatever, and it was too close to the sheets, and it caught fire.
Oh, wow.
Actually in the hospital room. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's the story. That's the story of my birthday.
Murphy's danger story.
Yeah.
You got the danger warnings early in life. But I just feel like it's going to be special. I don't know. I'm just looking forward. I don't get to spend as much time with her as I would like. Okay. Because she's very busy in her life. So I just can't wait to do it and talk to her about all the things that I was feeling. It was she was our first child. So it was a significant thing for her to come into our lives and split our lives, like before children and after children. That text you sent me today, can you believe?
Yeah.
All of this part of our lives started on this day 25 years ago when she was born.
Yeah, the life-changing thing. And I remember going, in there early in the morning with you and getting settled. And, of course, it's your first time, so you only know what you've read about or what people have told you about until you experience it. You feel it, totally differently.
Labored all day for her.
You did labored
all day. And at the end of the day, still had to have a C-section. I was devastated by that.
Yeah,
but
it was 14 hours to be precise.
Is Taylor the one where Murphy came in with a Snickers?
Yes. I don't know if she knows that story. Probably does.
Yeah,
I was
think
not
so.
allowed to eat anything, and it's and that's fine. Even just no ice chips, and he doesn't love that story, but it did happen. He wasn't thinking, and by the afternoon, like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I guess he needed a little snack, and he walked in, and he was just eating it right over me, and I was like, I can't even have water right now. Please don't do that. Please get out.
Yeah, it was a context thing. But that was a diabetes thing for me. That was not, it wasn't, it just wasn't thinking.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a funny thing to poke fun at you about. But I will say, too, just as going back to the birth story, of course, it's the first time I'd ever done this. And I was super nervous about how it was all going to come down and, what would it be like? You just don't know when you're that pregnant. I was overdue. She, I think I was due in early August, and she didn't come till we didn't get scheduled to just, all right, you're going to go in for it to be induced till the 14th.
She was due on August the 7th, 6th, somewhere in there.
I think it was
And I
the
remember
6th.
that weekend before where you were on the sofa saying, I can't do this much longer.
Yeah. So
Are you treating her 25th as anything, since it is a milestone, anything more special?
like I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm I feel like our conversation today
Okay.
about her life, and the day she was born and how she changed our lives. Yeah, I think it'll be more emotional. I'm feeling emotional about it. But, that's the story. Labored all day and thought I would be pushing and thought I would be having, this experience that I had read about, although not being completely sure. And by the end of the day, I will never forget it. And I'm sure I've told Taylor this part of it. When they were little, when our girls were little, I never wanted to scare them away from having children. You don't want to tell scary labor and delivery stories. But it was beautiful, actually, because I was so determined to, have her and push and all this. And I guess I wasn't dilated or whatever enough, and it was getting dangerous for Taylor and for me. And I remember the nurse coming in, the labor and delivery nurse, getting above me and saying, "The goal here is healthy baby, healthy mother." Because as soon as they said C-section and they said surgery, I started to cry. You remember that?
I do.
I started to cry, and then she appeared above my head, and she says, "The goal here is healthy baby, healthy mother." Now, you remember that, because she knew what she was doing to tell me, because I'm already a mother. When you're pregnant, you become a mother, and I'm already a mother. I was already very protective of her. So for her to say that, the goal here is a healthy baby, I was like, okay, you're right. I'm on board. Suck it up. You're on board. It's not what you planned, but you're about to have surgery. Major abdominal surgery.
Yeah.
And so, and some other special moments that I will never, ever forget. Can I say this? It's true. We always tell her that. When they were taking her out of me in the delivery room, C-section, before, you want to tell Sam this or me?
Oh, yeah. You could hear her making noise and crying.
Inside of me.
Right.
Oh,
because
wow.
she's just as vocal today. So I think that was like a little premonition of what was to come.
It's crazy. My mom was in the room with us, and
Yep.
my mom will tell that story. You could hear it was like a muffled sound because she was still inside of me, but you could hear a baby going, "Ah,
Hey, let me out!"
And even one of the nurses or the doctor commented, "This baby's already making noise."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And she's not even out of you yet.
Yeah. That was pretty incredible. Yeah. Your mom was in the OR for Taylor. My mom was in the OR when Phoebe was born.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I do remember after, they're working on sewing me back up and all that, and she's over there, and I'm looking at her when they finally bring her to me and put her in my arms. And of course, one of the first things I noticed about her, except for her face, her sweet, sweet face with those cheeks, was her hands. Do you remember me going, "Look at her hands"? And she, baby hands.
Yeah.
Baby hands get me. And her baby hands were the first ones that were my baby's hands.
Yes.
And it was just, moments that, you just never forget your whole life. So I just feel like, yeah, that'll be the conversation today. I want to tell her about it again and all the things I was feeling. And she knows about in the days afterward that I was the ultimate first-time neurotic mother. I was so nuts crazy about nobody breathing over my baby, about nobody taking my baby out of my arms. It was nuts,
Yeah, but everybody does it their own way.
It's hormonal too.
Yeah, and you were concerned that the family, you turned them away from the room, at least for the first night.
Yeah, and I don't remember making
Right.
that conscious decision.
But I think that was you as self-preservation. Also, you were in a state of overwhelm and trying to get acclimated to. I'm really a mom now.
I was tired too.
Yeah, I mean that had been 14 hours of laboring is a long time. And yes, you were exhausted, but I still think, I know that you've apologized to others. I don't think you owe anybody any apology
I'm
for
not
that.
worried about that anymore. I was I didn't mean to do it, and I was also still on whatever. I was still. They have to drug you for the epidural and for the C-section, and then I was on pain medicine. I don't remember some of it. I do remember being really exhausted, and true to Taylor form. Taylor, who never napped very much as a baby, when we first sent her to preschool, I got a call the first week, like, "I know you sent the nap mat. She's the only kid who won't sleep." I'm like, I know. She doesn't sleep a lot.
Yeah, so she spent the 2s and the 3s and the 4s in another room getting to watch SpongeBob and stuff.
Oh,
Stuff
wow.
like that, or just hanging out
Yeah.
helping the teachers do stuff, because she just
Yeah.
she would lay there and just look around, and and it was like they didn't want to leave her in there with the other kids who actually would nap.
Yeah.
And so I remember her also not sleeping so much when she was itty bitty.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that may have begun in the hospital. And I remember this, and I don't know if I've ever told you this. My mom spent the night with me in the hospital one of those nights, and I'm sure you did one or two as well, Murphy. But my mom, I was so first-time mother. She's my mother. That's all that matters. It's all I can see. That I didn't want her leaving the room. I wanted her with me, and if she had to be in the little thing next to me, that's fine. But I wanted her in my sight at all times. But she wasn't sleeping, and she was being fussy, and we were having some nursing issues and stuff like that. And my mom was the one who said, send her down to the nursery and get some sleep. Just for 2 hours or 3 hours. They will take care of her. The nursery is the best place for her, especially if you need some sleep. And I thought, okay, if your mom tells you that, it must be true. It must be okay. And I think we did. But of course, I was like, as soon as I woke up, where is she? Get her back. So, happy birthday, Taylor. Getting my nails done with you today. And
Oh, cool.
yeah, so excited about that.
Oh, that's right. You're the decoy.
Yeah, she's Phoebe's got some birthday planned. Phoebe, her little sister, for Taylor tonight.
Not really the decoy because she knows about the story, but still.
She knows there's something.
If there's
going to
be a decoy,
what.
right, exactly. It just makes it a special part of the day.